But you try something, I'll rip your face off. 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 I'll rip your face off. 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 I'll rip your face off. I'll rip your face off. But you try something, I'll rip your face off. 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 I'll rip your face off. 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 I'll rip your face off. I'll rip your face off. I'll rip your face off.
Good morning. Or whatever it is, wherever you are. Alright, so one thing I think we've pretty much done hitch testing down to I just got a bad hard drive, so we're running on the other one. So there's sink and there's float. To the top, even if applied. It'll probably be easier to push that one to the top. Okay, we actually have to say the patch. What did that leave us in? Oh, it's to the current top. And you can probably just delete it inline, but that seemed a little bit safer. Alright, so there's that. We're there. I think we're just kind of still in the playing around time. Now, one of the things I kind of wanted to do is what would it take to get our own... Well, there's a couple of things that are going to go on. Oh, actually, no. Slightly easier thing. Do I have, or can I easily make, a slightly older version of the base server that would have the same numbering difference? Because that, I know I've already got enough to build a 2-hour server. So it was... So a code 350... Is it containers? Or no, it's images. So if I can run... Oh, do I not actually have that? I've got the build for it. Huh. Oh no, there we go. Must have rerun that for something. The data'd be slightly off. Actually, do I still have that? Yeah, that's a 351. Alright, so right now, package server 1 does like the latest thing. It does latest. You know, if I mess with this, it's gonna get a little bit hairy. Alright, server 350, data 351. I could probably do a custom build that targeted some, like the newer data. Alright, and then we tweak this one to go build in 351. Okay, I was going to rebuild rebuild data there. I just want to incorporate that locally. But then probably the server will disagree. Alright, we know there's a berry bush up here pretty quick. And you would think that this would have a similar problem. No, it does not. I wonder if it only manifests in 2 hours. I mean, it might just not hit the bush. Of course, now that account is in the tutorial. I don't really know. It's like it would. I mean, you'd actually think that bush hatchet would be relatively constant between them. I mean, this is all older stuff, so maybe that's particular to the way that they modified things. Well, that's a much harder challenge. Okay. So, well, for one thing, we need to update. Is that this one? Yeah. So, all of these are not gonna. I mean, I had that one. None of these are going to perform well on this drive. Maybe others won't perform well on this drive either. Oh, and they're all big. I should have checked for replays first, for one thing. Replays and log files and big stuff we don't care about. Meanwhile, and you don't exclude enough stuff from search. This is actually build server. Okay, so that actually is built on. Yeah, it's built on versions and tags right now. So if I pulled in all the other stuff into the repos, it would do that, but all that stuff gets shipped in. So that's not great. Yeah, so this has all of that built in. You might imagine that that could also be done as some sort of variable, but then I don't know if the versioning scheme is going to be different too. They might have taken that in the updates. I'm actually going to have to look at that to see if their stuff is even compatible. So that is... Do we need to be modifying that? Not right now. Although, if they patched their server, does that mean the object numbering didn't change? We could probably test that real quick. Okay, here's that. One life. Oh, we're actually copying the folders. We need to actually run the test. Fabulous. And we still have the update to deal with. Oh, well, they changed their server numbering. Well, if that changed their server numbering, they would still be on the old system, so the newer one wouldn't work. Yes, that means we're still going to have issues. So it might be that we just duplicate this and change the URLs. Does build server Docker file? Yeah, there's args. Which I think that these are actually, if you specify them as args, to get them in here, they're actually required. So that would mean our build command would then have to specify all of the repositories. Almost there. Move too much stuff. No, it wasn't offsite. It was City Games. All right, this actually has been 267 for a while. Now, it might sort of be that because I'm not sure that there was some talk about self-update not working. Oh. Well, there's trying and there's succeeding. That seems to be okay. Okay, so this is fine by itself. That should still reconnect. Oh, that is not a stone hatchet. But the caches were built. This is a big update too. Is it just the caches? Wasn't there like a bin cache? Ah, bin blah 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 blah. Hey Tino. Maybe I was missing the bin caches before when I was trying to clear this. If I build those... Of course, this could have been one of my test versions that actually somehow got to work. I'm trying to figure out some... There was a... Well, so... There's 1 hour, 1 life, which got forked to another group by 2 hours, 1 life. And I'm trying to make a mod that will work on both. Now, I don't actually remember which version. Maybe I was actually experimenting with one of the changes and it worked here. And there was a change made that changed the internal object numbering a bit, which has made it work, create some incompatibilities. So right now I'm just trying to evaluate if that is still an issue in this version. Now, before... No? So before this was turning into a stone hatchet, so I don't know if there was like a small change to object numbering. Or like maybe just that one thing moved a little bit. Because that was turning into a stone hatchet. And I haven't done anything. Now they did do an additional little tweak on their end. But I used to be logging into the old version. And they should have maintained that numbering of things. But it might not be that particular object. I think it was I might have to... So did I like stash the code that I was using to check that or what? No. So I'd actually have to recreate it. As I was dumping the object list and I wasn't seeing any changes, but I was able to see that, okay, this was the change for that berry bush. And that was a number that was not what we expected. Well, I guess if it's displaying, it's what we expect. I was just curious if, like, we still had the stone hatchet there nearby. Well, one thing I could do is maybe need to go in and play again. Let's see, some other time. You know, it's 3:50, so I actually need to look up. Can I just get a... Actually, I've got that URL in the code. This is the Docker stuff. It's gonna be game.cpp. Yep. I do not want to resize the window. All right, so that would have been his version 350. Do we have 352? 350.70 would have been the last compatible version. There was also a 69 there. Now, for my versioning, what does that mean? Camera controls, default search. His name is known. Okay, so that actually does include the age patch. So that would be, that would have default search, compatibility, patch, and then this I don't think was ever, this is unpublished. I think. Yeah, 74. Oh, that's a 75? Oh, it was the test stuff, okay. So that would actually be useful for testing this much, and, well, or rather, that would be a fallback position. And this does not give me links. Oh, this is all name sorted. Not date sorted. Well, actually, we gotta be careful with that. That was the latest. Really, all I want is you. I think I'm just going to name you for now. Pfft, what the heck was that? So this is the last one we successfully ran. This is the one we think works. That is a latest build, which we might want to try first. come from different compilers, apparently. I find it weird that I didn't have to make that change. Maybe there was something else in the optimized build that it wasn't. That was incompatible, like in combination with the other change. But it's either that or get a full server up to mess around with more stuff. Because the berry bushes are no longer a test point. Well, or... I upgraded my version, so I don't have an easy version of the old data anymore. So I'd actually have to build my own client to test out that state. So the problem is I don't have a good test case anymore. So what's weird to me is that difference would have existed, and they're currently still recommending the older mod clients. Which you would think, if it even had updated, that would be the incompatible state. But I don't have a actual I mean, especially if it's newer stuff, there wouldn't necessarily be anything newer in the tutorial unless you did like a tutorial breakout. So I think I would have to try this. Let's see. What's going on today? There is still no game updates. The apocalypse, getting to the apocalypse is a multi-generational project, so I don't know that I would be able to personally take that on. So that doesn't necessarily need to be done by me, unless I find somebody to cooperate with. So we'd have to play there, see if that works, fall back, see if this works. And this one actually had the broken naming too. So I kind of don't want to copy everything for it, but that might be better the way I've got things set up right now. Oh, and then let's see. Do you have... Yes. Was there something else? Oh yeah, screenshots. What was the screenshots folder? Did I not have that? Yeah, I guess I've never bumped whatever it is that makes that in here. Because I'm going to need an updated copy of you, my other settings. I can build server and package server to do that kind of setup. I mean, we don't necessarily need the stripped down server, but that's the flow we've got right now. Oh, and I don't necessarily want the repo there. So I guess if I could copy contents, then I could skip that. Oh, actually, this one would have been fine, because it doesn't have a source directory. And that's like just about everything we just copied. Okay. And then I need all the files for that. I think it's just 2 for you, and then package server. Build server. Build server. NSF. Tag. You could almost do that as tags, but it is a separate build process. Package server. Not planning on publishing these right now. Oh. Gotta do a different map. I don't know if I got a reference to this. It might be a fork. Then again, I know one of their versions did not technically fork it. I might have to look that up somewhere else. No. Ah, I have referenced it before. Okay, so this is processing and scripts. Okay, and actually this probably just translates from the looks of things. Okay, we did have a server up. Okay, that was the older one. Build server. Alright, then I need a data directory. We've got Docker, we've got downloads. We've got build windows, we've got this thing. Now, the settings are a little bit awkward. All right, I should already have mod settings set up in there. So account key, email, borderless. Don't know what I was doing here last time. Full screen. I think this was 271. Okay, I must need to change my search patterns for tags. If they've even got the tags in there. Yeah, I guess that's still going. Ah, it's 2-hall. Why is this not done yet? Maybe those tags put it in a weird position? I'm actually kind of surprised they have server 348. That's recent-ish. Alright, was that... Okay. Is that the only place we mentioned that? Alright. I don't want to search in the source directory, though. Build client. Wait, what? There shouldn't be a build client here. Must be a leftover from some adjacent scripts. Maybe for comparison. Build server.shell. I don't think I use pull and build latest. That was once again more of a sample. Build and post windows. Yeah, this is all done in the source tree. $2071. $2071. Yes, they do synchronized versions, whereas JSON tends to separate code and data. Man, what's this last step here? Echo data. Oh, the actual checkout. Weird. Oh, maybe because we're going through the Linux virtual system. Still didn't seem that much with the when I was doing the regular builds here, though. I might be able to do this step outside. It's only the file mounts that get messed up with the shell. Which might come into play. I know that comes into play with running it. Maybe it was actually doing the building in the regular shell, and then oh, we need to switch over for specifying the mount paths. Hey there, Cups. How's it going? Yeah, it's not doing a mount. Yeah, so maybe I should do regular builds and regular shell. I only use that for the part that has to mount data. That is slow. At the moment, well, there was a situation which is not recurring at the moment. Well, not in the one test case I was using before. With an object numbering issue, and so I want a server I can just run around and mess up, and it won't be a big deal without bothering anybody online. Hey, Wolvenscar. How's it going? What were you doing today? Welcome to watching progress bars. Ooh, yeah, that game's been getting some noise lately. I guess it's... I don't know that it's a new concept, but it sounds like it's well executed. No, I ran a physical, well, a physical cloud server briefly, for my single player playthrough. It was kind of an experiment. I thought maybe it would turn into a community server or something, but I don't know if anybody else ever played on it after I opened it up. Yeah, I need to try doing this step in outside of WSL next time. I might be able to do the package step too. Not you, not you. You're sort of close. Yeah, I've got a long list of games I want to get to. Alright, so I built that. Pull access denied. Well, maybe there's something with the permissions. Yeah, well. I have a setup I use for my servers that I did a Docker thing, so that you just have this thing you just run, and it would take care of all the environment stuff. Good night. But now I need a different server. The permission issue is weird. Although it's saying oh build, which is the wrong thing. So I do want to check that. Oh, I probably have something in the scripts to pull from there. Maybe from the Docker file? Yeah, okay, so I don't know why I had a permission issue for this. Right, from build, what's build? As build, okay, so that's fine, then we'll take care of all those aliases. Maybe it has something to do with moving between the shells. Required Docker login. Huh. Maybe you would have to build it in that shell. It's saying a whole build again. Oh, because I haven't saved. That would help. Okay, yeah, because it... It's weird. A whole build... Oh, maybe it was trying to match versions, and that version... Yeah, that version of a whole build doesn't exist. All right, now... Package server... To haul run... Build. All right. The screen seems a little bit bigger. So maybe I missed something there. So what do my test setup normally use? I was using this one. Is that like screen? Nope, not there. Yeah, maybe it was that size. Ooh, login failed. Oh, I wonder if I had this set up in a different to log into something else. Yeah, because I didn't even get a connection. So probably what we want to do is grab build. Oh, did I? I didn't even copy the custom server settings from this. Although I should probably see if these made sense. Use custom server. Okay. Yeah, that might have tried a standard login. And custom server. I mean, I guess I just got into settings, change that one. Oh no, this was last working on my laptop. Actually, I do want to change that. What am I using? Am I just using localhost for you? All right. Oh, you know what? I still have my seed configuration on here. But there's some of the other trees. A Bajinja tree. Let's see. I might have to... Oh. Wild bees. I wonder if that was supposed to happen. Of course, no, that's moving around. That means it's actually executing like that. Okay, that's working fine. You're working fine. I have not yet found a weird transition. So maybe something about them kind of being in a... They like partially applied the optimization patch, but not... But they took the one thing out. They're on copper ore. Copper ore pile. Wooden tongs. Well, yeah, I'd have to get into a bowl to see if it needed charcoal. Wild grapevine. Branches work, yeah. So, I mean, maybe some of the more advanced stuff is... long. I don't know. Maybe I just want some variety. Milkweed works. Oh, it seems to work. Yeah. So I'm not finding any weird transitions. Oh, letter stock. Long. What about... Okay, those stack. Yeah, so I might just have to try playing and seeing if something else shows up, because you would almost expect it to be a little bit farther along the tech tree that you might get some weird stuff. It's just a bolt cypher. It's not like with wasp nest or anything. Huh. Okay, that stacks. I don't know. Maybe last use. I don't know if there's more clay around. Well, the food, I'm actually surprised the food meeting was lasting as long as it did. So that's because of a couple of settings I have set. No, that's not God mode. This client isn't set for God mode. I can probably fix that though. Let's see, so where is my Docker setup? So this is a little, I did this a weird way because it kind of followed what Jason did. Local settings. Yeah, so this is actually, I think the package server has one of these. Configure settings this is like a baseline. So I like turn off all the servers so we don't go poking his stuff. That's really all I do. And then I use locally. We do all of that stuff. Turn off Apocalypse, turn off some of the map reset stuff. And these are all, if you had an actual checkout of the server in its settings directory, you've got all these files. And these are just plain old text files. So I set them this way for my own little configuration. Like, that's the server side for VOG. I timed this stuff times 10. One time it seemed like it was crashing when I set it longer, but I think that was actually the follow bug. Tool slots per player. Sometimes I've played around, time or well, not force all players Eve, but if there's no players on, you become Eve, and then there's a default age for that. But yeah, if you just download observer or something, there'll be a settings folder. So you would find min. Maybe min food decrement seconds and max food decrement seconds. You can do. There's force all players Eve. I don't know if I have it in here. I did use it for my private server. There is a force Eve location, which is a 1-0, and then force Eve location X and Y. So you can pick a spot and just go there. Or I guess if you build your own 2-hall server, you could use the respawn system. Yeah, this is something I picked up from Jason's scripts. He does things like this, like when he's doing force shutdown and stuff. And when you're changing a whole bunch of stuff at once, it was kind of nice just to copy it down. And then I use this as, I override this file in the container and it configures all the settings. Yeah, so there is a sort of God mode built in, but I have to configure my client settings also. One life build. I'm on 2 Hall right now. I'm not even sure if this is fog mode on, which is not configured in this particular build. You also have to have the email address you're using, or whatever login you're using, configured on the server. So I could say, hey, I might be getting hungry. Let's just make a cooked mutton pie and then make a few more. So you can just go down the line and make whatever you want. In VOG mode, there's some stuff to jump around to players, but there's no other players. Which I think it might be VOG mode. Yeah, lets you just move around like this. And then capital I is for the item thing, and then there's a couple other commands. Those are the only ones I use for like testing out mod features and stuff. Being able to spawn items on demand completely removes the game part of it, but if you want to do some bug testing, or I'm doing client testing, it's very useful. However, I have not been able to trigger anything that looks like that kind of item bug we had before. Yeah, that stack is fine. What's some new stuff? I know there was fruit trees. I don't know if they're going to be called fruit. There's the old fruiting apple tree. Oh, they're not defined as fruit trees. Was there an orange? If I could spell. There's an orange. Orange sapling. Winter orange tree. Okay, so we got all the item trees. That must be naturally spawnable. Looks... Ooh. Is this the server? Oh, I have had some problems with fog mode stuff at times. Okay. No problems with that. Now this is actually a timed for the other trees, I think. I'm not sure if you're going to be actually jungle or what. Orange, orange, crate of oranges. So it must still be cuttings to propagate trees. Yeah, I've not yet found anything that's actually having a problem here. Well, pickles are new in One Life. I was wondering if maybe there would be more problems around this content. But maybe something with them half applying the optimizations that they're also on the server. Huh. Okay, I don't know what the Dell thing is. I have a pretty good computer, and it's running in Docker, which is going to greatly complicate that. The game itself, well, it could be a little hard on graphics. When I tried it without a graphics card, it ran at 30 FPS. Oh, that's right. He left it at really fast transitions so we could test stuff. Okay, yeah. Ob's could maybe speak to that better. I've had no problems running it on my good computer. So it's probably this would actually be in it's like technically running in Docker, so I don't even know where that would really show up in the process list. For yourself, it's not going to be very much. I don't even see like maybe some of the VM stuff. I guess it is technically the Windows Linux subsystem that it's running under. So this is doing a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not even seeing like the server as a major process here. And it's not really doing anything right now. I mean, maybe if I guess you can read the names. If we like run around and do some stuff. Client service executable. VMM. Yeah, the server is relatively lightweight. I mean, when you put 200 people on it, and then that's pushing it. But for you and maybe a few friends, it should be fine. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I'm not finding anything that looks like an obvious item bug. So maybe, them like half applying the optimization thing effectively fixed it. Oh yeah, true. That's 200 player. Well, I guess big server 2 is a larger one. But all the old server 1 to server 15 are basic level servers. And that'll handle 100 people ish. Yeah, so right now it's like I don't have to do anything. So all of that just to kind of prove the point. I may have to try playing that just to... Oh, yeah, that one little disconnection thing. Didn't really see an explanation for that. Okay. So we've got that stuff. We've got that stuff. We've got... This is a fallback if that doesn't work. We went into the patch directory. Hitches were just, I have a bad hard drive. And it freezes sometimes. Object ID changes are okay with 2HAL update. I need to actually test that live sometime, which is why I need a slightly newer version. I tried this once and things weren't quite working out. So there's this feature which its moment is kind of past. I should run. I probably should run some stuff on it. I don't know that I ever got around to doing that since I got the computer set up. Mm-hmm. But I basically got a cheap drive for the bulk storage. So I'm not entirely surprised it's got some hitches. It's just kind of weird that you get the new computer and it actually performs worse. So I think it must be the game like writing out to stand out, and that's actually when it flushes. That's actually a synchronous operation, and I guess the disk isn't buffered or something. So I don't know. All I know is I moved it onto the other drive and it was fine, and it was fine on the old spinning drive. So it's something peculiar to that. This computer was originally set up for gaming. I've not actually decided what to do with my old computer yet. Possibilities are sell it, pave it over as a Linux machine, leave it a decent desktop. I could use it as a little dedicated local server for stuff. There's at least one more thing I want to get set up on here before I call that install done. Just in case I need to reference some stuff. But yeah, I've had the old computer actually off for possibly months now, and with the copy of my user folder, I have not needed to turn it on for anything. All right, so the other thing we've kind of got going on, well, there's that, and I guess since we were doing some Docker stuff, I did notice I still had the old build setup in there. No. Maybe I was looking for that to flush out a little bit more. When did I change that? That's 75. That's kind of a current release. This hasn't been published yet. No, actually, I saw 75's published. So as long as we never need to... I guess having some of that stuff in there lets us build old versions if we needed to. But... it is a little bit of a complication. Oh, maybe I took that out of... Right, because technically that's being done in... Oh, did I close all the windows? I guess I closed the other windows. Being done in the new containers, and I may have removed it from there. So we did, like, dev windows. Okay, we still got that. Well, we're using mod in the sort of way people often think of it. But it's public source, so what we're actually doing is we're downloading the game, we are making changes to the source and recompiling. So it is not mix and match in the way that Minecraft is. Now, if you're looking at object data, most of what 2 Hours One Life does is all data files. And that was deliberately set up to be very editable. Although it's a bit of an obscure system, but once you get into it, you can do all kinds of stuff. But like I think 2 Hours changed some code for the water system, for the fertility system. They added password doors. Somebody did a little recipe lookup thing. That was probably a larger change. And those are all, edit the server and recompile types of things. Well, or client in the case of the recipe lookup. I've heard about that, but that was all before I kind of paid attention to it with the relaunch. Okay, so set mouse is still in there. Where do we use that? Yeah, so it's still in this as well. Of course, I probably was still using this when I first set these files up. And then we've got a cat. And there's set mouse itself. Yeah, we included the header file for it. Okay, so those are the references to that. So probably if you delete this file, remove this stuff, then it would no longer support doing that. And we are like technically doing things that include. Well, I think maybe I added it to make file list in the actual repository. I don't know. I might actually want to wait a little bit longer on that. That's still a recent change. Of course, that only leaves me with doing stuff for this. I don't know if there's really enough time for anything really adventurous, like seeing if we can do head display. That might be a pretty significant patch. Some of the general polish, being able to see around other people, well, that would aggravate the crash. Actually, I haven't looked. Has anybody reported that yet? No. So I got my patch there because Jason never came back from vacation. And I would need a local. One thing about the Docker setup is if you want to do server code, then it's not a good environment for that. You can't really iterate. So I would need a different setup to be iterating on code, or on server code, to actually look at a patch for that. So we might just have to deal with it. All right, in order to see somebody else's graph, right now we just assume it's current object. And where was that code? Where? Oh. Yeah. I mean, maybe he could have done more with transitive includes, but this is like one of the main files in the application. Okay, in family name. Show hierarchy, that. Okay, that's just in, well, we've got a flag for it. That is in draw. Yeah, it's C++. There are some objects, but the bulk of it feels more like C. I mean, like he's got a vector object. I forget the name of it. Is a variable size array. He uses that. Um, I think like living objects, the players and things are kind of objects. Maybe animations and objects themselves a bit. But it's almost more common to see functions on them than methods on them. Well, what he said is that he planned a 1 week vacation, which may or may not have included trying to push that project out. It obviously took quite a bit longer than that. That no one who's worked on software is terribly surprised. And then wildfires made it extremely smoky where he lives, so I think he's like living with some relatives in Arizona or something. And he said it's basically easier to work on that remotely than One Life, where he's might need like all his drawing supplies and scanner and everything. Yeah. So is CC++ your first programming environment, or are you like just getting into that lower level of programming? Okay, so we assume we have an rlive object here. HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay, yeah. It's powerful and dangerous. Yeah, he originally said, 2 years from the original launch. He has said, I think he said that he does intend to get to the 10,000 objects. We don't know what the timeline on that is, or if they'll be terribly significant objects or just more stacks of things. Whether they will involve new art or just be, scrapbook assemblies of the existing art. Okay, if we have alive objects, we've already proven that. Okay, so that looks like... yeah, I was searching backwards before. Live object. I mean, we changed that to a focus object and might be okay. But I think this is the only place we care that it's our live object. Oh, yeah, test code. Okay, yeah, so I think this is the only place we care that it's our live object. Unless I'm like calling a function from some of this. So if we redo that to like hierarchy focus, we're doing object oriented. Yeah, okay. Now I could actually set up... I'm wondering if show hierarchy should be like the ID of the player to show it around instead of just a flag. Because I'm going to have to, if I want to do multi-targeting, I'm going to have to record that somewhere. Mm. Well, it only has to be, to maintain current behavior, it only has to do that. Okay. So, what's our player? Is that like a generally available thing? No, that's a in our object. I wonder if the key down has as our object for any purpose. Is it get R? Well, there's some VogPause stuff. There is, if we're doing filter command, get our leadership chain. We're not even in key down anymore. If our live object I should have gone the other way. There we go. I think it's just ID. Our live object ID. All right, so that should be sufficient to maintain current behavior. Let's see, did I relaunch the other server? And then I think I have this set up to copy into, well, to a different version. I wasn't seeing any problems there either. Maybe I wasn't clearing the bin caches before. All right, and there's nothing to see. This screen does feel a little bit smaller. Maybe I missed a setting somewhere. Okay, so that much still works. So we're checking for our live object here. It's not as much our live object. So if we're trying to do it, then live object? I think so. Ooh, how do I get a player by ID? Get live object. Is that always negative? No, that was a specific case where it was being stored negative. I'm working here a bit. I need to remember to use marks more. Uh, shoot. I'm not in anything I can easily break out of here. Certainly that would be more of an over here. All right, then we can assume that as just as much as we can do that. Yeah, it's just to get into people's thought process. Yeah, and I'm probably well, I shouldn't be just arbitrarily critical. But yeah, Fall Guys is not one that particularly interests me. I can sort of see the appeal of just some kind of mindless fun every once in a while, but it's very much just mass chaos and pushing buttons from most of things. Ah, yeah. Like Graph Focus isn't a great name. Maybe it could be Graph Focus Player, Graph Focus Object. It was our live object. I mean, we're assuming that's not even a player, which I don't know. Oop. But yeah, it's easy to use arbitrary names. A lot of times you're just trying to be short and concise, and then you come back to it later and it's like, what was that? Possibly could have done a search and replace here, but now the question is, have I anywhere assumed that this is specifically our player? Graph center, leader graph position, display ID. Getting their target position for the point at the head, and a frame around the head. And we go through all game objects and draw them out. Highest leader ID. Graph focus object. Okay, if they're in our tree. Something along those lines. Draw a leader label. Okay, the information about that player, you get their name and stuff. Okay, I don't think we're really anywhere else assume it's our player. All right, so we can test that as a pure code change, see if it still works for us. Actually, I could turn my my hunger rate back down. Because did I die just right there? Or I tried to draw something and the pointers were bad. Was that a server? It's a client. So that tells me we tried to look up something bad here. We've got like one frame. How about that doesn't do anything for the is the flag on right now. Okay, so something in that code is not happy. Why would that be? We're not making the getLiveObject call. Didn't give it a default value. Spent a lot of time in JavaScript where things are like default undefined. Alright, so still works for me. Now, if we actually look up the object, with that fixed. I suppose I should maybe use some names here too. Okay, that still works. And then so this is one of the paths. I don't do any pointer hits here, I don't think. Right, I outsourced that to another function. Which, maybe this is getting big enough, I should do that, because we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. If target. That was a very simple flag. I'm going to default to rLiveObject. Sometimes they're useful. I mean, like Jason has some big descriptions of certain mechanics. I guess I'm not hitting any right now. I tend not to use them a lot. It kind of comes back to the variable name. Like these are a little bit. There's a couple big ones in here. Yeah, like breaking down types of clicks. These are kind of useful context. So we had the Path mark, hint bookmarks, player mark. So I was triggering that above here in the list of things. Maybe I should move that down. I see. I almost want to use that. Yes, this is the little conflict. You almost want to call that. Well, show hierarchy around. This is. We've got the little thing like do a player target. And hierarchy is one of those. I wonder if I shouldn't even use the word that's that hard to spell. I-E. Oh, I was probably looking at this as similar to camera key. Yeah, and then that moves around everything else. I think I was saying, oh yeah, I like the camera mode. So actually, there's going to be a fair amount that's similar here. Okay, so this has a, what do we got here? This will have an else case. Live object target, if target. I don't know if it's gonna be that different. Oh, actually, getting thrown off by JSON brackets. Okay, so that one is actually included there. So it probably means that he would do it this way. All right, key handle by case is going to stay over there. And we've got that for some debugging. Oh. Yeah, this has to be declared in the overall scope. It's not just a little local block variable anymore. Oop, kid died. Working as a debugger. You mean tracking down regular real bugs in like paid software, or I guess I jump around environments so much that I don't tend to rely on an interactive debugger. But they are useful on occasion. Yeah, because of the not relying on any given environment, like interactive debugger, I tend to do like printf debugging just because it works most places. Ooh. That's always doing her. But this is me. What's going on there? Does check person hit always return some other player? What if we just did that? Well, I mean, sometimes debugging does kind of involve clicking around. Okay, so that still does us. So check pointer hit is not returning. Maybe it's not returning what I expect on a not found. I mean, you're very often exercising the program. Sometimes you get into automated testing. This is a big code base not built for that, so it would be challenging. I don't know if I have any bugs that have like shown up multiple times I would want to do that for. So that's what I've been using. This unfortunately can get very complicated. Closest person. Oh, maybe it's always just the closest person and not necessarily. Huh. I want to know if we actually hit, though. Is it just like close distance 0? Target ID, cell X, cell Y. Min dist that hits. Nope, that's it. There's no like, did we hit their Hmm. I mean, I know something can go down to clothing when you're like taking your own clothes off. That only applies to yourself. It doesn't really apply to other people. Oh, I don't get a distance out of this either. Maybe it's a pointer hit record? Hit other person, hit clothing ID. Okay, so that might be a little bit more involved. Check for pointer hit. Check for person hit. So for the level of detail we want, we need a. And do I have to initialize all this stuff? It sure looks like I have to initialize all this stuff. And I have to get the XY of interest. In what coordinates? Looks like those are cells. So this is pixel world coordinates, which I think that we go into like pointer routines. We have last mouse X and last mouse Y. The interaction keys do some of this stuff. Draw help. Try interaction keys. Ooh. Now we have cell hit and person hit. Because we're targeting very specific things. It's not really arbitrary. And let's check for pointer hit. But it seems like, well, I might need to initialize all the fields I care about. Like, I don't care if we get clothing. I don't. Maybe it's a different field. Oh no, down here. Hit an object. I guess we would care about if it was an object. Really, we care about other person. It's not going to be target ID now. Hit other person ID. I guess those are the only flags that I'm really using. I don't know if that, like, can return multiple hits. Did that again, and might be old. Yep. Well, I guess we'll follow the younger person to try and avoid crashes. Okay, that's being shown relative to me. That's not being shown relative to her. Now, maybe it was counting on some of those other fields to be initialized. This is the header file. Pointer hit record. So you're initializing all this stuff. Aha. Yeah, so it was an uninitialized data there. So most places it'll be me, but if we need to, I mean, I always forget about the badges, but which will kind of give you most of what you need to see if somebody has anything going on. Now we do have to get a pretty precise target here, but for as infrequently as we need that, probably fine. Now, I don't remember if I had notes in the repository. No, because it wouldn't be in the patch. Alright, the other stuff's not big, but we're getting towards lunchtime. And it's not like we're going to finish the feature today. So that's probably it for now. Thanks for watching. Yep, wrong new window. Thanks to Scar for bringing friends. Let's see. Do we have anything relevant here? That's hardware. All right, I don't know if there's anybody else working specifically on similar stuff. I see a game dev and chill. Probably gonna be going for a little while. If you're looking for someplace cool to hang out, AmbiDev is just says game dev. I'm not sure. This is probably a Unity or something. But they are working on something. The title doesn't say what. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye, and until next time.